Hey, fucking savages. Welcome to the Greg Medford Show. This is Greg. Phoenix, Arizona. It is so hot right now. You have no idea. The monsoonal flow has come in, and it is just swampy. Now, it's not swampy like you people who are really in the swamp, but for those of us who like a dry heat, it's swampy right now. So we're happy to be in the studio today. You know, our ongoing expose on America. It's just... why do you do this? Why do you want to do this? The reason you do it, everyone asks me all the time, the reason you do it is I'm too old, fat, and ugly to go kick down doors and do anything for my country anymore, so at least I can peel back layers of the onion and find some way of getting to some truth. I think it's the modern Minuteman in the information age is to bypass all of the censorship and bring something real to the universe. I think it's the musket of the modern age. If we could mix our metaphors just a little bit. So today, I know we've done a lot of politics because it's the cycle in the season. We've done some veterans with some great stories. We've had some authors in. We've had some notable business people in. Today's a weird blend where all roads cross. So we have a veteran entrepreneur with some political aspirations appearing and doors look like they're popping open for. And so today our guest is Ron Wilson. Ron, thanks for coming to the show. Appreciate you being here.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you.
So we met, where were we at when we met? We were at a fundraiser, right?
We were for Kerry Lake.
All right. I see you're sporting a Kerry Lake hat.
Yeah.
So tell me, before we go much further, tell me what it is about Kerry you dig.
Oh, well, everything. No, I appreciate her thoughts on border security. I appreciate her thoughts on the absolute wrong direction some of us are our country is being taken in at the moment. Mm-hmm. I dig that she, wants to make a difference. She's a fighter. She's prepared for the things that we're going to face. So
I'll tell you why I've decided I like her. I think she's the only candidate who's not an establishment rube who will just do the expected. I think, I'm not saying she'd do this, but I think if the Tohono O'odhams, if they're going to let the border be open across their reservation, I think she'll shut down their island casino here in town with state police or National Guard or sheriffs. I mean, I think she'd do something bold, be like, okay, well, we can, if you want to play games, we can play games. I mean, I think she'd actually do that, whereas I think Robeson, she's a lawyer, she'll calculate everything she does, and I think she won't do anything edgy she'll just do what, the problem with lawyers is they don't want to have a loss on their record, so they never do anything bold.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I think that there is a problem with the doing too many things for themselves and not doing enough for the rest of us.
Yeah.
And I see that across the board in office sometimes.
And I think Kerry's pissed off.
As we all should be.
Yeah. And I don't see pissed off in the semi-billionaire political class as much.
No.
Okay. So you're supporting Kerry, as am I.
Definitely.
Moving on. Tell us a little bit about you. Where'd you grow up?
Grew up in the Bay Area. I was born in Gilroy, garlic capital of the world. Went to school in the Bay Area, Christian school when I was younger. I ended up graduating from the East Bay, going to Florida State, where some college professors talked me into following my childhood dream. My childhood dream was to be a Marine. So,
what a different time. I mean, how old are you?
50.
Oh, okay. So you're a couple years younger than I am. It was a different time where college professors, can you imagine college professors on a campus now convincing them to go in the Marine Corps?
No, and dropping out to go to the Marine Corps.
Right.
They're like, what are you doing here, son?
That's bananas.
No, they would definitely be trying to brainwash you in today's world.
It's funny, too. We always, I have friends who, like, if we're driving together and we see a California license plate, everybody in the vehicle, we all start barking from. But 90% of California is basically the rural Midwest.
That is correct.
So it's Imperial Valley, the San Joaquin Valley, Sacramento Valley, that whole area all the way up to Oregon. It's Kentucky on the West Coast.
California might be one state, but it definitely has two different types of citizens.
Yeah, and so we got two cities who've lost their friggin' minds, which are wonderful places, but they're bunkers, and then Sacramento, who caters to it. I mean, it's just...
Yeah, and I don't know if, San Francisco's my home. I'm not sure when the last time you were there, but it is not the same city that I grew up in.
No, it used to be such a fun place to go. I mean, San Francisco was a great place to go and an amazing city to walk around in, and it was so friendly and so American. And now it's, I think it's ugly.
I have friends that visit there, and they're like, it's kind of scary there. I'm like, oh, no, it's not that bad, but it is that bad. Nancy Pelosi's, Gavin Newsom, it's awful. Yeah. Absolutely awful what they've done.
And it's funny, I think about places I want to go with my kids to show them America. And it's a place that's lovely and has great West Coast history. And it's, it's a great old American city with such topography and character. And I just don't want to take my kids there.
No, not unless you want them running into homeless.
Just seeing the shit that you have to see walking around as a tourist, not interested.
You might literally see somebody shitting in a bucket on the street.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
All right, so, even worse, maybe not in a bucket.
Yeah, so you grew up in the Bay Area back when it was still red, white, and blue, and then out to Florida for school, and then you went in the Marine Corps. Tell us a little bit. Give us the one page on your Marine Corps.
I got to the Marine Corps. Of course, they ask you, can you swim? And I was dumb enough to say yes. I'm a great swimmer. So I went to a boat company first, and then a helicopter company. And then finally the Force Recon company, where I stayed till I got out.
How long were you in the Marine Corps all total?
Just under 8 years.
Okay, cool. And when you say you went with a boat company, what boat company? What are you talking about?
It was, where did I end up first? 1-1 and then 1-4. So Charlie Company 1-4. Sorry about that. Then 1-4 and then 1-1 are actually the other way around. And then to a divisional or battalion recon, and then from there the Force Recon company.
Okay. What'd you do in recon? Were you a ground pounder? Were you a grunt? Or were you in... Give me the breakdown.
Yeah, I was in 0321. We specialize in counteraction for terrorism.
Cool. So here on the West Coast?
Definitely. Camp Pendleton mostly, yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. Any deployments?
Yeah, 3 of them.
Where'd you go?
3 Westbacks. So the fun places.
Okay. Yeah. Most people don't know.
All right, so
people who are in the Brotherhood have no idea.
I guess the most fun was obviously Australia. It's an interesting place where they actually still like Americans.
Yeah.
Somalia was probably the least fun.
And you went in Somalia after the Black Hawk Down incident, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just same time period, right after actually. So for the evacuation of the embassy there.
Yeah. Remember they said, "Oh, the Army's here; it's all gotten out of control. Better call in the Marines so we can get people out of here safely."
Yeah, yeah.
And then where else did you go?
Kuwait, Rwanda.
So kind of like the mission and training and global projection, but not much blam time, because that would you got out right before.
That's correct.
Everything else happened. Yeah. All right. Cool. And were you in the Gulf War?
No, I'm right after. So
okay.
I'm just immediately following.
You're a tweener.
Yeah, I'm. I think I'm in boot camp for the Gulf War.
Oh man. Okay. Cool. Well, that explains it, because I'm just a couple years older than you, so I just squeaked right under the wire. Well, fantastic. So you got out of the Marine Corps, and when did you get out?
I don't even remember my.
When'd you go in?
End of active service. Well, I extended a couple times for that last deployment, so it's not my exact date anymore.
Yeah, okay.
Once it became not my date,
What'd you do after
roughly Christmas of 97, 98, yeah.
All right. When the towers fell down, what was going on with you?
I was at a coffee shop watching that when that happened. I watched it live. I was quite surprised.
Yeah.
Obviously, like the rest of us.
Did you go try to join up like the rest of us?
I did not at that time.
Okay. I was like, okay, put me a coach because I'm made for this.
Yeah,
They were
yeah.
like, yeah, we don't take you back, quitter.
Yeah. There's a part of you that wants to return, and then there's a part of you that realizes you've already left that behind and you've got other things you're focused on at that point.
So what were you focused on? What did you do after you got out of the Marine Corps?
At that point, oddly enough, my grandmother passed away, and the person that helped us do that was not as prepared for death as we were at that point in our lives.
Yeah.
So I became a family service counselor for a short period of time,
Really?
helping families through their grievance of death.
So after being a Recon Marine, you became a grievance counselor.
Yep.
And how long did you do that for?
Only about a year and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then what? And what'd you do professionally? It got you to here because here we are. You're pitching a shoe company and looking to run for office. Fill in the gaps here because we got a big span of time here, right? 25
Certainly.
years.
Yeah, right. So in insurance for a little bit, a lot of sales. I grew up as an IBM technician. I was a technician when I was 13, working out of my father's office. Did that for a little while until the full transformation of, not using mechanical machinery anymore. And then started a restaurant, a nightclub.
Where'd you start restaurants and nightclubs at?
Out here in Arizona.
Yeah. What nightclub?
It was Envy Lounge, and the restaurant was Blue Note Cellars.
Where was that at?
Old Town.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you do that for?
Only about 2 years total.
Yeah.
The writing was on the wall right away that we had hired some wrong personnel. And then the doctors that I started this thing with couldn't recognize that. So it was right away saying, you guys, we're going to fail. And they're like, no, it's going great. And I'm like, no, that guy was just served a martini in a glass or a cup, not a martini glass. And I was like, we're going to fail.
So you guys opened a couple places down in Scottsdale and did that for a couple of years. What else have you done?
I continued to done some financial advising. I've done started a out-of-home digital signage company. We had an advertising company, did some commercials, sold those. So mostly just started businesses, got them to the point where they were profitable, and then moved on to something else.
Okay. All right. And then what's your main focus right now? Is it the shoe business?
Our main focus right now is definitely the shoe business. Protégé Footwear, Protege shoes. We're like to bring some manufacturing here to the U.S. and it's pretty special. It's pretty exciting. It's fun to watch a woman put a pair of Protege on because she lights up.
Yeah.
She realizes her life has just changed forever because that is truly a comfortable shoe that she's never had seen before.
It's bananas. It's such the opposite of my whole zeitgeist. I like seeing women take their shoes off, but whatever. To each his own.
It's a high heel. It looks nice.
Yeah, no, I'm weird about shoes. I love women's shoes. So you're not for myself, Bobby. Make sure that's properly edited, okay?
I'm pretty sure I heard that clearly, but
okay, not for myself. So,
but does love women's shoes.
I do love women's shoes, though. It's your girlfriend or fiance who's the designer of them?
Yeah, Candace Chen is her name, and she's a engineer from MIT. Ended up at a work event that turned social event that turned dance party that turned into bloody nasty feet. And she realized she had the skill set to fix that.
Cool. So she's been designing shoes to solve her problem.
And solve every woman's problem.
Super Yankee ingenuity.
Yep.
So where's she from?
She's from California.
Yeah.
Southern California.
Okay,
Yep.
Cool. Did you guys meet there or did you meet here in town?
Totally organically here in town.
All right, cool.
Yep.
And were you guys already dating when she started doing the shoe thing or?
The shoe launched 6 days before we met, I think.
Oh, really?
The soft launch was then, and the official launch once patents were done and websites and whatnot was September of last year. So we're creeping up on a year right now.
Oh, cool. Very cool. So that's your total focus kind of right now, business wise, is you're kind of helping her with this project or
Definitely.
part of this project.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Where would someone, if they want to run into these shoes, where would they find them?
We're online at the moment. We're e-commerce. So protege.com or protegefootwear.com.
All right.
Yeah.
And as you try to, as the company's like this in its infancy, a year old, it's got a model that has a lot of import and you guys are trying to find some way to repatriate or patriate the making here.
100%.
Okay. And have you guys talked about, have you met with a consultant on how to onshore manufacturing? Have you have you looked at what that's going to entail?
It's obviously a process, and it's obviously a bit more of an expensive undertaking than just outsourcing it overseas. But you do it for the right reasons.
Yeah. What I've seen people do one unique product first at a very boutique level because it doesn't require the heavy infrastructure to kind of start up and get their feet wet in that onshore cachet and how to talk to the customer in that language, and then start graduating some other stuff to onshoring. The problem with offshoring is, and I mentioned it before the show started, everybody who's done it, it's like black tar heroin. There's so much profit margin. I talked to a guy the other day. He wants me to make knives for him. And he told me the numbers of knives that he sold last year, and he doesn't make any. And he told me how much money he made. Because I was like, hey, pull your pants down. Let me hear what you did. Because I'm getting ready to tell you mine. And we had a truth moment. And I was like, inside, I was almost raging. Because the dude made more money than I did and didn't have any of my hassles. And he made 3 times as many knives as I did and put them into the marketplace. Now, wow. I sleep really well wrapped in a red, white, and blue blanket, and I'm happy about it. But there's a little part inside of me that was kind of jealous because how many gray hairs I have from doing this. Yeah, they turn gray and then they leave.
I see that.
Yeah, initially they turn gray and then they just bail.
Yeah, we're going to take it easy. Take it step at a time. So maybe try to bring about 20% of it here initially. Do some custom orders, fittings, and custom fitting and things of that nature first, and then hopefully be able to bring more and more of it here.
Yeah, that'd be great. Does Candace, right?
That's correct.
Does Candace make any shoes herself? I mean, a lot of times, those of us who are in, people like, oh, did you get in? Well, I started making knives. Does she make shoes, try to make them herself?
She has made shoes. She's been to a shoemaking course and a few other things. And then, she's an engineer and, one of the most amazing engineers ever. So it was right up her alley.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Cool. All right, so that takes us to kind of the present moment. Give me an idea. We met at a fundraiser, and you were suited up like a candidate. What's going through your head?
Our side is losing the propaganda war, and I'd like to bring more awareness to that the brainwashing that is happening, and the overall lack. We're losing our young, and our young are being taught that our country is not the most amazing country in the world, and that is horrible. And if we keep telling generations of young people that they don't live in the best place ever, we're losing our pride. We're losing a lot of what makes us, America and the United States.
Yeah, the problem is building nations is messy. Unifying Germany in 1848, it was a messy endeavor. Europe's got a lot of messy to it. I know modern leftists really look to Europe as a beacon of how to be, and I look at them as a beacon of how not to be. I look at Europe as kind of a dark place that's uninspiring and has great architecture and mediocre food and really good beer. And I look at it as a place to turn my back to and look away and go, okay, this is how not to do it. And I enjoy Europe, and I consider myself reasonably continental, and I have fun when I'm there, and I have my favorite places all over Europe. But
that reminds me,
it's not how to do life, though.
No, in fact, when I'm in Holland, the Dutch, they love "Hoe kon het hier und uitkering krijgen," which is where can I get on welfare? They if they thought you were serious, they wouldn't actually like that joke. But since I'm American and they know I'm joking, they think that's hilarious,
right? Because
they realize that I'm recognizing part of their problem.
Yeah, we, in spite of, and the real the left can't win any argument. They can't win on facts on almost any position in modern times. So what they've done is they've brought the argument back to, what do they call it? 1619 Project or 1719 or whatever it is. They're going back to where the facts are a little hazy, and they're creating a false narrative to basically say the whole thing's a big lie predicated on a hoax.
Yeah.
Because they can't win any argument about anything that they vote for, stand for, or push for in this entire modern era.
Not without that propaganda machine.
Yeah. So you need propaganda when the facts aren't on your side.
That's
If the facts aren't on your side, well, then we just need to lie really creatively. And then they've undermined the country by basically, we've got a couple of, making a country's kind of dirty. Like the actual business of taking land. There wasn't nobody here before. There were people here before. Right? So just like in England, the Normans and Celts and, they've got lots of layers and Vikings and everything on top of each other to get where they are. Same with the French. We've got this almost everywhere, right? When the Ice Age retracted, people migrated and changed everything. As you look back, everybody's got kind of a muddy history to get where you are.
100%.
So we've got a group of folks who are looking at our muddy history, and they're focused on the mud, and they're not looking at what we did with it. What we did with it's spectacular.
Yeah, we anybody that comes here recognizes right away that we have the freest, best country in the world, with the most opportunity still.
The free thing is pissing me off because they've been leaning on free really hard. So you're deciding that you're gonna kind of make a foray into politics.
It's definitely something to look at.
Yeah. What do you think you want to do?
Oh, Congress.
Yeah.
U.S. Congress.
Okay. How do you want to affect change with that? And what's great about this is conversation is because I've talked to so many congressional candidates and congressmen who are serving and former congressmen. I love to hear the perspective of the person who wants to go in and run, the person who's running, the person who's in, and the person who ran. Because that's an interesting arc. I mean, I could write a whole book about that. It's pretty fascinating.
I don't think it's something, well, I'm sure some guys think that, oh my God, someday I'm going to be president, and they think about it their whole lives. I think a lot of the rest of us just get to a point where you're like, oh, wow, this is going in a bad direction.
Well, don't worry. You're not hitting a glass ceiling. We've had a ginger before as president, right?
Which one was that?
Thomas Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson was our first soulless ginger.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I am also a soulless ginger, so it's going to be great. Yeah.
All right. Well, look, there's no glass ceiling for you to break there. There's no ginger ceiling for you to break.
Definitely not. And again, you just start to think, you see the things that are not going the way that America is designed for them to go in. And it starts to, it can make you a little sad. And instead of being sad, you might as well get mad and try and do something about it. And then as a servant, you'd like to serve the people instead of yourself. You see a lot of current holding positions where they're just serving themselves. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of ugly.
Yeah. I got a weird thing about politics and politicians at this point. I'm like, it should not be a profession in this country. It's not supposed to be. And we've got too many broke dicks who go to Washington. They're regular commoners the way it's supposed to be. But we've lost a sense of selfless service that is, I think, crucial to being in politics. Because George Washington was probably the most effective single individual for the formation of the Union, the Republic. And he was known for basically, even though he was a super wealthy guy, he was exceedingly service-oriented. He didn't make decisions based on how it affected him.
Yeah.
He wanted to make decisions for the country. And I don't see that anywhere. And it almost needs to be like an ethos or an ethic that they say, okay, now that you got elected, or now you're running, if you're going to run as a Democrat or Republican, remember, the goal here is you're not here to serve yourself. You shouldn't leave here wealthier. And I see all these, folks that go in for these jobs that don't pay much money at all, frankly. And they're coming out, they come out pretty wealthy and prestigious, and it seems oddly self-serving.
It seems very self-serving indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when are you thinking of running?
I'm like we originally said, we're working on the shoe company and doing all we can there, and just keeping my eye open and seeing how the landscape is playing out. But potentially 2024.
All right, cool.
So soon.
Cool. Do you got a pair of shoes? Did you want to maybe show us a pair of shoes and talk about some of the features? Is that something you'd like to do here?
I would love to show you some amazing shoes, especially since you're such a shoe advocate.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gay for shoes. Bring them on in, Candace.
Thank you.
Candace, is he the marketing guy? Is he your marketing and brand guy?
He is the #1 Protege fan, and he's both a partner in head sales.
Okay. All right. Well, here we go. So hand those over to me.
Here you go. There we go.
All right, so guys. Here's the box. I like a nice box.
Everybody does.
Naughty. Cool. It's got one. Come on, Bobby. All right. It's got a bag in it. Cool, as it should.
There you go.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to knock something over. All right, so these aren't my size, everybody, because I'm bigger than a 7.5 shoe. Tell us, so as I look around the shoe, let me point out some things that I noticed, and then you could talk to me about the technology that's here, okay? So obviously, the footbed's got some really cool contours that you don't see in either like a Tom Ford or Christian Louboutin or any of those shoes. They don't have this in the footbed at all. So you've got some arch support.
Those features are patented in that shoe.
Cool. You've got some great padding down in the lower portion where the ball of a woman's foot's going to be pressing into.
It's a triple layer padding with gel and foam.
It's almost like the Greek chorus. As I talk about the shoe, a voice explains the stuff that I'm pointing out. It's kind of fun. It's almost how Trump talks.
Let me get it a little deeper for you.
Trump's like, we're going to be doing some amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. It's really amazing stuff. We did amazing things. We did really amazing things. He has his own Greek chorus going all the time.
Well, we're going to get this going for you.
This is, it's got, I don't know what you call this feature, but I would call it like a toe thong or
a
something.
Hidden toe stud. That's correct.
Hidden toe stud.
And it's hidden because once you put a foot into it, it's no longer visible.
Right. I know, we just had in the factory, Amy tried them on and she said that this kind of felt like it kept her foot from moving around and kind of held the ball of her foot in place. I can only imagine, I wear cowboy boots and regular boots and stuff like that. I can't imagine wearing shoes basically barefooted and, the foot sweats and you're against leather and it can get slippery. And if you got the right materials and the right things I could see how this could be really precarious, having never worn a pair. I think about a woman out dancing in a pair of high heels going, God, I don't know how they do it, because if your feet sweat just a little bit, you're just standing on a 60-degree or 45-degree angle on leather.
If you put your thumb down in the heel, you'll notice it's got a deep heel cup, and that cradles the heel. So between the heel cup and the arch support and the ball padding support, with the hidden toe stud or strap that prevents your foot from sliding forward, it is truly the world's first comfortable stiletto.
That's pretty cool. And then Candace showed me she's got kind of a cool thing she did here. Is this patented as well?
Yes, it is.
This is a cool idea. So it's got a slip-on. So for any of you who have ever been with a woman and you wanted to peel her shoes off at just the opportune moment, this seems like the perfect shoe for that, because like I'm always annoyed if a girl's got to hold her leg up and I got to stop for a minute. I got to like undo the buckle and then I got to do the other one. And then they're like, oh, let me do my shoe. And it's just really inconvenient. But you know how a bra, you can just take a bra off with your left hand, just like boom, bra's off and you're like, it's a party. I think you could do the same thing with these shoes. Now, it may not be the intended thing here.
Are you left-handed real quick?
No, I'm right-handed, but I've always been doing it. I've bras left-handed, shoes right-handed.
Ah, I see. That makes sense. There you go.
But these, it's really cool. So the buckle adjusts on the strap, and then what would normally be the keeper of the buckle is slotted, so that the buckle is kind of just a position holder, and you can adjust that for tightness around the ankle, and this slips into the keeper, and now it looks just like a regular traditional buckle with keeper. except it slips in from the top. So you could conceivably just reach down and snap this out if you develop a little technique, which I would, which is so cool, I guess, for a gal, because you're all duded up in a dress and maybe you've already been zipped up and you got to bend over and put your shoes on.
And that gets a lot more complicated with a couple glasses of champagne.
Yeah, the undressing is always like way more challenging, right? But nobody minds if they get a bruise after after the evening. So this is it's pretty cool. And then Candace said she likes to take this and slip it around into the back here. And now you get this tidy little ankle. I always like these features on shoes where the ankle's up here. I'm gonna get berated by all the knife guys for being so gay for shoes, but I love women's shoes. I think they're really sexy, and I like them on a woman. And I think a woman's legs look best in a pair of heels. And in a world that's rejecting feminine and masculine, to have a nice feminine shoe that's comfortable for a gal allows her to kind of fly her feminine flag, but be able to do it with some comfort. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's really neat.
That shoe inspires confidence and comfort like no other.
What else have I missed here besides? So we talked about the heel, we talked about the arch support, we talked about the triple padding, the toe stud, the keeper on the strap. What else am I missing?
This has got a padding in it too that is allows for extra comfort.
Sure. Cool. These probably are comfy right out of the box.
100%.
Well, that's pretty neat. So for you guys out there who buy shoes for your women, and if you don't buy shoes for your women, you should, because they really like it. I think they're really cool. Oh yeah.
Yes, correct.
Right. So you can bling out your shoe a little bit and modify your look. We've got some straps in the bag here, and they come with every shoe, right?
Yes, correct. Every shoe comes with a silver studded, gold studded, silver plain, and gold plain strap. So this is if you've got a little bit of like S&M kink, or maybe you're gonna after work you're gonna go have some cocktails with the girls, and maybe they're a little younger than you. You've got your comfortable heels on, trying to hang with the youngsters. You could throw this on in the restroom, and you come out and you look pretty edgy. Or if you just want to match your earrings.
Okay, or that. And I think that's pretty cool.
It's a great feature to the shoe, and the women absolutely love it. And it makes the shoe a lot more versatile, and it can be worn with a lot more outfits.
I'm just going to put it on right now. I mean, not the shoe. I'm going to put the strap on. And this is like the quiet moment of our show.
We'll get you that size 10 where you can actually put, 11 that you can put it on. And
I think in a women's pump, I'd wear a 25.
We get some you in heels and knives at the same time, so it'd be a great shot.
We could do a holiday show, actually, where we sell women's shoes and knives. It would be hysterical.
Knives and stilettos, that's it. Yeah.
How about stilettos and heels?
Mm.
Oh, I put it on upside. What's that? Yeah, stilettos squared. Okay. I see what's going on here.
There you go. It's a completely different looking shoe now.
Yeah, that's got a little bit of, that's a little edgy. All right, so a girl could change up her look a little bit. And then how many different models of shoe are you guys doing right now?
So it's that model currently, about to be releasing another model, a little bit shorter heel, block heel. That one is just currently in black, nude, and white. And currently that's the only model.
Cool. And then you guys are just going to do e-commerce and do your own thing for now.
So we are actually looking for retail partnerships as we speak. So if you've got a retail store and you need an amazing item in it, this is what you were looking for.
Well, it's like, and that's always the double-edged sword. Same thing with the knife business. As soon as you get retail, as soon as you get basically resellers, all of a sudden you have a make problem. If you make a good product, now all of a sudden you got to make it all, and that's the next challenge. Well, listen, I like the presentation. I like the nice box that it's in. I've bought some really expensive shoes for gals before, and I always feel a little underwhelmed by the packaging. Christian Louboutin does a really nice, red satchel with all of his shoes. But I'm always a little underwhelmed by the packaging. It's like, it's the kind of modern thing is to have great packaging, and you still see the shoe companies not quite doing that. So I like it. It's a really cool It's a cool package. If
Yeah, we love it. I've only seen one package better, and that's a Medford knife package. That's for sure.
Look at you. Cool. Well, I dig the shoes, and I wish you guys all the success with that. If people want to find you, they can go to protege.com, or is it protegeshoes.com?
Protege Footwear. Protegefootwear.com.
Protegefootwear.com.
That's correct.
And then Ron Wilson. Maybe they should remember your name for when you run for office.
That's correct. That's Ronald J. Wilson. But as long as you remember Ron Wilson, and when you got a chance to mark that box, that's the box you're going to want to mark.
Okay. And you're going to run as a Republican?
Would you run as anything else?
Well, listen.
Well, wait. Let's say that differently. I'm not in California.
There's a weird thing now with Republicans. I'm noticing a very strange split, okay?
It's a sad divide.
Yeah, we've got the country club Republican establishment is still running like things are going to go back to normal, and there's all these America First candidates. Of the America First candidates, we're having to vet out who the real ones are. Because there's a lot of Republicans running as America First candidates who will throw Donald Trump under the bus the first chance they get. And so it's an interesting thing I've noticed, people being embarrassed of Donald Trump, but they want to be an America First candidate.
I think at the masses level, we will find a lot of closet voters for Trump.
Especially after what we've just seen.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to see what your niece who graduated from UCLA's big attitude at Christmas begets in the real world, we've just seen it. Like, every smart-ass fucking 33 years out of college kid that we meet who's always got some great ideas and how we're a bunch of ding-dongs ruining the world. Now we can go, you got your way. That crazy-eyed Ocasio-Cortez set the stage for what is going on right now, and it's a shit show.
It's awful.
They don't understand that $1.89 a gallon gas makes the entire American way possible. It is the pivotal piece everything turns on.
I very vividly remember the last time I paid $1 for a gallon of gas. And I looked at my friend that I was with that day, and I was like, we are never going to see this again.
The thing is, when gas is inexpensive, the country grows like crazy.
And we could completely control that.
Completely.
It's
our own destiny.
Yep. And we should be controlling that. Like you just said, $1.89, that is where our gas price should be.
Yeah.
For Supreme Unleaded.
Yeah, for racing fuel. Yeah, it's bananas that we've basically created a catastrophe, or we've created a calamity. Catastrophes are natural, calamities are man-made. Just a calamity. People say to me, Greg, when do you think gas is going to go back to normal? I said, well, I'll let you know when the policy changes that the clock will start ticking.
Right.
But in the meantime, it's just going to keep going. Or do you think it'll stop? No, it's not going to stop. They're constricting.
Purposefully.
Yeah.
And it's ugly.
It's an anti-capitalist, which has turned into an anti-American, self-loathing, white guilt, white shame, liberal narcissism.
You look at it all, and this is why you want to get involved. You start to see things like that, and you go, that status that we are currently, the route we're currently going down is just not acceptable and should not be acceptable. And the brainwashing or manipulation for the young, suggesting that that's the way it should be, it's just not right.
As I've been speaking at get-togethers, fundraisers, and little rallies, what I've been telling everybody is, men all want to go off and do all these important things and change the world. And one of the most important things men can do to save the world is for the next 20 years, go to school board meetings. Because men at school board meetings will be rude, will be, as Jordan Peterson says, disagreeable, and will stand up and raise their hand and won't be silenced. And the mama bears are doing it right now, but the polite women of society have been steamrolled by crazy-eyed, vagina hat-wearing lunatic leftists, and they're running our schools.
Yeah, I don't need a teacher telling my child that maybe they should have been the other sex.
Right. Or that it's optional. Your gender's optional. What? Bananas. Somebody said to me the other day, they said, Greg, why is it you have such a problem? I go, I don't have a problem with transgender or gay or anybody. No problem at all. Zero problem. And they wouldn't want me going and telling their kids about how to become Marines any more than I want them coming and telling my kids how to flip their gender. I want my kids to learn reading, writing, arithmetic, and some digital savviness for the modern age and how great America is. That's what I want to learn.
That is the focus in school.
Yeah, it's what it should be. It's not. I mean, it's absolutely what it should be. Okay, well, awesome. Well, it's been fun having you on. Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, say hi to your mom. Tell her you love her.
Did you say hi to my mom?
I did say hi to your mom and your wife when I came in. No, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you having us on. I appreciate your time and everything you've shown us here and done here. And keep up the good work. We need more patriots.
I appreciate that. And just to be thorough, Amy is my ex 3 years now, so we just get along really well. And
impressive.
We still seem like a couple when everyone's around us because we're just we're friends. So I got to be on the record in case somebody watches this. They'll be like, "What? You're still married?" I'm like, "All right,
no, I'm not really married. I swear."
You scumbag.
Well, she's also amazing.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome.
And again, we appreciate everything here.
Did you enjoy the tour?
Definitely. Love the facility. Love the amount of employees you have, the square footage.
It's pretty nuts.
The attention to detail out there.
Yeah.
The cleanliness.
Yeah. Got to keep it clean or it would get ugly real fast. I've had, when I have companies come in that I buy equipment from and their techs come out, they always go, man, this is the cleanest knife company we've ever been in. And I'm like, cool, that's what I want. I want it tidy and squared away.
That all goes into why you can't find a better knife than yours on the market.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thanks for being here, Semper Fidelis, and
Semper Fi, brother.
Nice to have you here. Okay,
definitely.
All right, sports fans, that's the show. We've got a lot of cool stuff coming at you over the next few months. Go check us out on iTunes, Spotify. You can still find us on YouTube. Any of the stuff that is really salacious or incendiary or just plain truthful, we have to edit it out because if YouTube doesn't like it, they'll just hit the delete button on the Greg Medford Show. So we put our non-controversial and our commercials there, point everybody over to Rumble, Spotify, and iTunes. We hope you guys come over and check us out. And that's the show. I'm out.
I'm out too.